Welcome back, everyone. So not too long ago, I've been messing around with a lot of these older iPhones, and for some reason, the iPhone 5, as soon as I picked it up and I started maneuvering around with it, I was so surprised how fast, how great of a performing phone the iPhone 5 still is. And it's so crazy because this is a pretty old phone. This thing came out in 2012, and to give you some perspective and to kind of lay some ground at the beginning with, this is not a great performing phone in this day and age. It's severely outdated. It's not getting any more software updates. It did get a random update in 2019, I believe. But since then, this is not a phone I would recommend people to buy. The iPhone 6 is much faster than this phone. The iPhone 12s are much faster. The iPhone 13s are definitely worth the money. But the iPhone 5, the fascinating thing about this phone is that it's pushing almost 10 years old. This phone still powers on. It still looks good. It's still kind of relevant because of the flat side design feels so premium next to something like an iPhone 13. But the craziest thing is just how good of a performing phone the iPhone 5 is relative to its age. You can buy an iPhone 5 for like $40, probably even less than that. And I would not recommend you to buy it. But when I turn this thing on and I flip from one page to the other, I go inside of an application. Although it is a pretty outdated design with iOS 10, I'm still fascinated by how much relevancy this specific software still has. A lot of the core features like iMessage, FaceTime, Safari, the App Store, different things like that, a lot of apps are also still supported with iOS 10, which is pretty interesting. Although those apps are, on a much older version of, supported software, you can still download a lot of apps on this thing too. And the thing is that once you get an application loaded, for the most part, it runs pretty much as you expected it to. And that's what's pretty interesting, because with an iPhone 4S that came out a year before, and with an iPhone 5S, and even an iPhone 6 that are still getting software support, it's very interesting that these phones are so similar in performance. And I think with the iPhone 5, because it's so much better of a performing phone than the iPhone 4S and it's a much more stable experience, I'm able to kind of use an iPhone 5 and feel like it's still a very good, strong supported phone. And I think that is one of the most interesting things about this phone, is the fact that you can just buy this thing and still kind of use it for the most part. Now, like I mentioned, I would not recommend anyone to purchase this phone as of this point. It's pretty outdated. There's not much going with it, and you can pick up a much better phone for like $30 more than this one. But it's still very interesting how Apple, did a great job at the iPhone 5 with design, with performance, with software, that even when I look at, some other, Android phones that came out in 2012, they don't really hold up as well as this one, especially from a design standpoint. A lot of phones at that time were pretty much still, plastic made. They didn't feel that premium. And one thing about iPhones, they've been fairly premium since like the iPhone 4, and that's a big thing to keep in mind. So when it comes down to it, I definitely don't think the iPhone 5 is worth going to. Like, I wouldn't recommend people to buy it anymore, but it's very interesting how good of a performing phone this is, and it shouldn't feel this good. Apple did a great job with this device, and overall, I'm pretty happy with it, almost 10 years later. So in terms of that covers it up there. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.